Charlie Baker did not support Donald Trump. Do you?
I will work with Donald Trump as governor to advance our interests here in Massachusetts.
Didn't answer the question. Very political answer. I will work with. That was not the question you were asked.
I'm not being anti the president. He's the president. We should work with him. That's what I believe.
Okay. Did you vote for him?
I didn't vote for anybody.
Grown. Didn't vote for anybody in the last election. The man took a bullet for our team, and you can't even, as a Republican, vote for him. That wasn't enough for you, for him to earn your vote, setting aside the fact that his opponent couldn't put three words together in Miss Harris, right? Or Mrs. Harris, whatever her name is. This is your response? And yet you want to be the leader of our team? I don't even want to do this topic. This is like the last thing I want to talk about. But, you know, I feel that if we're always pointing out the hypocrisy of Democrats, and then we have nothing to say about the hypocrisy of people in our own party, then we're just shills. If I'm going to do this show, or whatever the hell this is, I might as well tell the truth. And when you're faced with such blaring hypocrisy that I see in this particular case, I can't be silent. Over the weekend, Mr. Kennealy said that politics is a team sport. And together we can make Massachusetts more affordable, create transparent government, and empower our local economies to thrive. If politics is a team sport, why didn't you even vote for the captain of our team in November of 2024? You didn't vote for anybody. Were you not able? Well, maybe you were sick that day, but you know we've advanced beyond that with mail-in ballots and all that. There's no reason why you could not have voted last year. You didn't want to vote for Trump after literally he took a bullet. Remember, it's not Trump they're after. It's us. He's just in the way. And now you want to be the Republican nominee for governor of Massachusetts? I could understand, you know, that you didn't want to vote for Trump, but you did anyways. I could even, if you voted for Harris, I think I would have had more respect for you. If you stood up and said, you know what, I made a mistake and I voted for Harris, I think I'd have more, but you didn't vote at all. Let me ask you this, Michael. Because to paraphrase the Godfather, this isn't personal, Michael. It's principle. Let me ask you, next fall, or if you're out there promoting a special election, which is what you were doing this weekend for a couple of people that are running for state representative in special elections, how can you stand up and say, now's the time for everyone to get out and vote? It's so critical. It's so critical that we get those latent Republican voters out there, those reluctant Republican voters, because those are the folks that are going to put us over the edge. How could you possibly even say that when you yourself didn't vote and didn't vote for the man that literally took a bullet for you and for all of us? I can't do it. I don't want to be. I don't want to come on Monday morning and say this. It's not what I want to do. But I can't help but say, because it's just simply true. Sadly. And there's a point where, like, hey, I feel like I've made this mistake before. Because I was a big Charlie Baker fan back in 14 and 18? Big Charlie Baker. And boy, did I learn my lesson during the pandemic. Not going to make that mistake again. And I think there's probably a lot of people that are watching today that are like, oh, yeah, well, got snowed by that situation. Yeah. Why don't you put your mask on while you're walking the dog at 2 a.m.? Meanwhile, I'll steal $2 billion from the federal government and then make you pay for it later. Oh, TCI, how about a wholesale tax on energy? And BTA Communities Act. Thank you, Charlie Baker and Michael Kennealy. Girls, sports, let's protect them. No. Let's have boys play girls' sports. All the things from the Baker administration. The worst of which, of course, by far, was his overreaction in government solution, his confidence that he could just manage his way out of the pandemic using the power of government. He was thoroughly and absolutely convinced of that, just like David Halberstam taught us in the book, if you haven't read it, The Best and Brightest, which is a story about how the smartest people, a lot of them from the Kennedy administration and Harvard, how the smartest people got us into Vietnam because they are smarter than us. And the government could be used for bad, but when they're in charge, they'll use it for good. Oh, because that seems also like Michael Kennealy's approach, just generally speaking. When he says, I can't believe that they are using the MBTA Communities Act the way we wrote it and enforcing the law, because we would never do that. Well, you're not there all the time. When you pass a law, newsflash, you're not going to be there forever. And sooner or later, somebody else is going to come along and use the law to its fullest extent. I mean, literally, after you watch this, how can you not at least say to yourself, okay,
something that said, take a look at what happened.
Move it there. Hold. When you're ready, on you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the stand. Stair, get ready. Stair, get ready. You ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. Let's move. Let's move. We're clear. Come on.
Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay, my shoes down. Get the shoe.
Watch out.
in your response, this is your response.
Did you vote for him?
I didn't vote for anybody.
Did you vote for him?
I didn't vote for anybody. The president, we should work with him. That's what I believe.
Did you vote for him?
I didn't vote for anybody.
One more time.
That's what I believe.
Okay, did you vote for him?
I didn't vote for anybody.
I don't want to do this story. I don't want to have a Republican nominee that literally didn't vote in the last election. Literally didn't vote in the last election. As Mark Lombardo said over the weekend, one of the most important elections in a generation didn't vote, quote, give me a break. Either Mike can't make an important decision or he's afraid to share who he voted for, which is just slimy. Massachusetts Republicans are not going to vote for this never Trumper who is the godfather of the MBTA Communities Act. Next, please. And this follows a story in Bloomberg. Massachusetts GOP governor hopeful distances himself from Trump from a couple of days ago. Mike Kennealy, the first high-profile Republican to enter Massachusetts governor's race, is walking a careful line, criticizing Democratic leadership while keeping an arm's length from Trump-era policies that he says threaten the economy. Let's talk to my friends out there that said, well, we can't win. We can't win unless we nominate a Charlie Baker type of Republican. First off, let's be really clear. The Democrats have already made it really clear for all of us that Mike Kennealy, who is the least Trump-like candidate, the Democrats are already going to label him basically as Trump's best friend. On the day that Mike Kennealy announced, the Democrats dropped a video that made it look like Mike Kennealy golfs with Trump like every day. So I don't see the upside of trying to nominate somebody who is anti-Trump when the Democrats are going to basically make it seem like Mike Kennealy is sleeping in the Lincoln bedroom. Because the Democrat strategy is going to be to label you Trump, even if you're anti-Trump. So what's the upside of going with an anti-Trump if their campaign is going to be to say that you are basically Trump? They're going to run against Trump in 2026. They're probably going to try to not even mention the Republican nominee's name. They're going to run against Trump. I mean, that's crystal clear. That is perfectly clear. They're going to run against Trump. They're trying not to even pronounce your name. Maybe the big strategic mistake that we've been making is not leaning into the actual policies of Trump. Maybe that's the big mistake. Maybe there are not enough soccer moms out there that thinking about running a Baker-like candidate with a blue blazer Republican, you know the ones, maybe a blue blazer Republican that would be appealing to soccer moms is old thinking. Maybe that's thinking from 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. Maybe there aren't enough Republican soccer moms or independent-leaning soccer moms out there anymore. In fact, all the demographics tell us that all of your soccer moms, they're already gone to the Democrats. They're all those Volvo driving, Hingham acting moms. They're voting Democrats. They're voting for the Democrats. They're the core of the Democrat Party in Massachusetts and throughout the country. Our real voters are potential voters in order to win the election and to do the right thing for Massachusetts citizens is what we saw in 2020 thanks to Trump. And I know Michael Kennealy doesn't live in Bristol County, but Fall River voted for Trump. It's urban voters in smaller cities, New Bedford, Fall River, Lawrence, Lowell, Worcester, Holyoke, Springfield, Pittsfield. It's those voters It's those voters that we need to swing to our side. And we saw a massive glimmer of hope when Fall River voted for Trump, and it hadn't done that for like ever or for a really long time. And when you actually look at, for instance, the 9th congressional district and Mr. Deaton almost won the 9th congressional district. He almost won the 9th congressional. It was very close, surprisingly close. In fact, if he had lost New Bedford by just a small smidgen less than what he lost New Bedford, he would have won the 9th congressional. Now, I know he wasn't running for Congress. I get it. But you know the thing. The strategy for 2026, as far as I see it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I see it, is not to convince the soccer moms because they're lost in their Volvo's Hofstra stickers. Good luck to them. BUR up to 11. We're not going to get those voters. Our hope is actually to reach real people in places like Taunton, Fall River, Southbridge. If you campaign for those votes, and maybe you don't win all those places, but maybe you lose them by less, that's the key to victory as far as I look at the map.